So what we're looking at here is I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this drawer front. The drawer front, you know, it's got that serpentine, that curve. Did with that, you know, if I was smart, I'd have put it, yep, there it is. I've got a pattern right here that I've taken from this so I can get the same shape. Also, it's what I used to get the shape right there, which this was set back. This, the way it's figured, it's just going to set out just a little bit, just to have a little definition between the two, but this is the serpentine that, or the curved front that I'm looking for. It's to match these two here. But now I need to rough cut a piece. Let's see. All right, if I cut that 8 inches, that'd be, I need to fix it where, yeah, I actually need to be 8 and an 1/8 inch. That'll make it over just a little. So basically, I'll cut to fit. All right, the length, I cut 26 and a half, yeah, would be plenty. I can cut it down to, okay. So what did I say? That's why I write it down, no. Dang it. All right, 8 and a, I'm gonna go 8 1/4, that way. 8 1/4 inches by 26 and a half. So 26 and a half. That gives plenty. So I'm gonna call it rough cut. So let me go find a piece of wood. I think I got some left on that same board I was cutting off of. That would make the grain and everything match a little better. So let me go find a piece of board. So over in my stockpile, this is the piece that I was cut the other out of. So we will start with that. We'll cut some of that off and see if we can't get that thing to match up. I'm on half. See, if you remember, it's around 8 inches. I'm cutting it over 8 to cut it down, so that's 5 and a half. By the time you square it up, you know, possibly get 5 1/4. So I'm gonna have to have a book match him, or may do a couple of them and find the grain that looks good. So this is the one I was using to cut the other from, so the grain should match up. $26 26 and a half. So using what I have, that thing is sawmill. It's 40 years ago. So I'm trying to use what I've got. So I've gone through some stuff here. These wasn't thick enough. It's just, I thought I was going to laminate two together. It wasn't quite thick enough. However, I've found these. I know I gotta laminate it this way because 5.5 inches, if you remember, is as wide as it went. So right now, I have got 8.5, and if you remember, I was shooting for 8.25. So now I've got it wide enough, and it lacks about a 1/16 being thick enough. It hangs, in other words, when I lay it up there, it hangs over here about a 1/16. That's not a big deal. So I won't have to laminate this away. Of course, I would just have to laminate in the middle. But you talking about getting the grain to match, that would have been a nightmare. That would have been odd. So I'd rather go a 1/16 short and not have to laminate. But see here, I found the spot that's looking at the best it can be. So I went ahead and milled all that other up. Y'all seen me mill the first one up. I milled 3 more. I didn't really think y'all would want to sit through all of that. So I went ahead and milled that up. And I mixed and matched and found the spot where I think we're going to be. Still, it's a little too long, it's a little too wide. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and glue it together, let it be setting up, because at some point, we're going to get on the bandsaw and make a curved front drawer. But first, we got to glue it together. So I've got set up here to glue this up. It's like I always said, it doesn't take a lot of pressure, it takes even pressure. So that thing has got to be, and this glue squeeze out will tell you that, you got to even squeeze out, you're going to be okay. I marked the top here so help me keep it lined up correctly. So what I'm going to do, I am going to get some glue. And I'm going to spread it evenly. Make sure all of the entire surface is completely covered, because you cannot count on the glue going where it's supposed to. You got to make sure it goes there on its, and in this situation here, it needs to be glued pretty good. That's a little much, but you can take your finger and feel it. It's a stick, and you can tell it's a sticky place. It feels sticky when it's an area that is starved. So even squeeze out. Again, I got my marks there to help me keep it lined up. Pretty even. Didn't take a lot. It just okay. To counteract, you're going to top and kind of counteract. As thick as this is, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But even pressure is what we're hunting. And it looks like I'm going to put these on here just to be sure. I'll clamp each side right here. What it'll do, it'll ensure it don't want to walk on you. It'll hold it as even as we can get it. That'll keep it even. So I like to give it plenty of time. Wintertime here, it doesn't set up hardly as fast, so I'm gonna probably let it sit overnight to make sure we got a, because as thick as this is, before you go doing like that, I'm gonna put it on the bandsaw and do some cutting, and so I'm gonna make sure it's set up good. So I've let this thing set up all night. I mean, I got 58 degrees in here now, which ain't bad, but I think everything's calculated at 70 degrees, but anyway, it's set here all night. I feel like it's really not gonna have a lot of stress on it. I mean, not like it's supporting a load or anything, but I think it'll be okay. So, I got a little bit of cleanup to do, don't I? A little bit of cleanup. That's all part of it, isn't it? Yes, it's all part of it. I really like these clamps. It has a tendency to hold it at a 90, where the others, it's a point. I can come in here and work. I'm kind of anxious to see what these. So I got that. I got some old chisels. That would be just perfect for this right here. I like to get the worst of it off. I'm going to probably take a sander, palm sander, and kind of work this thing out. I just use the chisel to get the worst of it off. Boy, them clamps on the sides really kept it from getting misaligned. So yeah, so that's going to help. It's a whole lot less surfacing to do. But if I can get the backside, I may take the sander, get the backside, and just make a light pass across it. See, it that thing held her straight. It sure did. So, time that thing gets sanded, of course you can see the seam right now, but the time it gets sanded in there, I'm hoping that kind of disappears, if you know what I mean. So yeah, let's get her sanded and see what it looks like. Well, we got her smoothed down, and of course so I guess now what we're going to do is we'll get her cut and trimmed to within a 1/16 both ways. No more than a 1/16, and that'll have it almost where we need it, and then I think at that point we'll put our pattern up here and go to the bandsaw and see if we can get this cut out. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get an 1/8 and a 1/16 I got 8 1/16. I double check, it's confirmed. And what I'm gonna do, I'll get it 8 1/16 wide. Then I'll get my crosscut sled out and we'll go to 26 1/4 and catch the ends. Now that I've got it, it's close. I'll have to trim off about a 1/16 or all the way around it. But I'm close enough now to where I can go ahead and mount my pattern. Oh, there it is. Can't hardly see that. I've got a mark right here. Can't hardly see that. Okay. So I'm going to line the back with that. Okay. I want, it's about 1/8 of an inch what I'm running up. That's what's going to show the half line dovetails. But I don't know what I want to do first. I got me some blue tape. I need it to, there's no problem to see it. No problem to see it. And this is going to help me do that. Now when I mark it out, I'm going to take a knife and cut it and reveal the wood, and I know the tape I need to stay away from. I got to take my time doing this because the closer I get it, the less work it'll be trimming it down, which, you know, a bandsaw leaves it kind of rough. So there's going to be a certain amount of work's got to be done, if you know what I mean. So try to minimize it as much as we can. I get this jig, or more pattern, what we would call this. This would be a pattern. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a pencil. Okay. Just got me a new blade in this thing, so it ought to cut. Now let's see if we can't just see what we looking like here. Little blue tape there. Holds pretty good. Wow, it really holds good. Now I got something to look at It stands out, no problem to see. So I'm going to cut on the wood side, staying out of the tape. So I've got her cut on the bandsaw, but you know, bandsaw leaves are pretty rough. So what I've got hand files, rasp, I got a sander, coarse grit sandpaper. When I get close, I got a card scraper where I can work this out. The only thing I see from this point on is a little elbow grease. So let's get busy. Well, I tell you what, when I first thought about this little old deal, this is the part I was dreading, and it didn't take near as long as I thought it was going to. But I am afraid that, I hope that don't stick out like a sore thumb, because I really didn't have a whole lot of choice. But when it gets to the point where I'm staining it to match the rest of it, I may leave it on this side a little longer than that side to help it out. But like I say, I did not think that this would want that well. Of course, at the time I forgot about my belt sander. You take a belt sander with 50 grit sandpaper, well, flat eat one up. I mean, but not as much as you think. I mean, it didn't go completely crazy. Where the bandsaw come out, you know, there's only going to go so far. It left a pretty good little ridge. Them hand rasp, that made short order of that. But then I done the bandsaw, belt sander with that 50 grit. That took all them bandsaw marks out, and then I did the palm sander. Yeah, I was dreading that, and I wasn't that bad at all. Now the steps, that's going to save me. It's going to be incredible. What I done, I brought my dry sink in here to where I ain't got to walk so far. I'm pretty close to where I need to be. Kind of work its own way on down. I got the height. It just lacks just a pass or two. However, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the ends and get them where they'll set in here this way. Boy, it don't like much. So what I'm planning on doing, taking my shooting board and trim each side down and to the right length, which I am real close. Yeah, I'm just within less than 1/8 of an inch being there. So you're looking at 1/16 of an inch off each side. But if you remember, to eliminate the tear out, I'm not going to be able to flip it over. So I have to come up with something else, and I've been studying how I'm going to do that. But what I'm thinking about doing, normally I flip it over, then tilt it back, trim this side off, flip it back, and it keeps it from tearing out. So what I thought, I have a little shim right here I think will work. So I'll put that shim right there. And then what I can do, I can run backwards here. All right, so in essence, what I've done, I bailed it right there. Now I don't have to worry about the tear out. So let's see if we can't get this. Blade. All right. All right. Oh, it's close. Now we get one at that close right there. So we're just gonna, what we'll do, we'll make a pass or two and then check it. Okay, this is where I was talking about. I'm gonna need to work that piece out right there. It is. So I'm gonna take a smaller one and run it backwards. In essence, I'm doing the same thing when I flip it over. All right, let's see what that does for it. Okay, here we go. This is where patience comes in. Got to have your patience right here or you'll go right by it. Okay. Whoa. I believe we're there. We may give it another lick, but let's, yeah, let's try it this way. Go see how it fits. Yeah, we're going to have to come off the top a little bit. I know we need to get, let me hit another. I'm making 2 passes on each side. And we'll call that. All right. It's super close. So what we'll do now, once the drawer gets, you know, the rest of the drawer, it'll go in a lot smoother. So what we need to do, yeah, up here. So let's go ahead and catch that right there. Okay, here we go. All right, come back here. I have to clamp me a caul on there. Need a little clearance here because the wood will move that way. I'm probably going to look for a 16th. So let me find me a caul to stretch across there, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So basically what I did, I just run me a piece of, I got MDF, but how it won't slip by this right here. Whenever you're planing, when it's loose like this, it'll tell you when it's right or not. If it stays still, you had even pressure on it. Actually, I might be going the wrong way on the grain. Skip right there. I need to put me. Let me try this again. All right, come on. A little tight. We'll just keep working on it till we get her fit. Again, this is where you show patience. Okay. So what I've got 10 thousandths. That's what these playing cards are, which is just a tick over, a small tick over 3/32. So it's over a 16th. So I think I'm gonna hang with that for right now. And this video is getting a little long. So what I thought, this will be part 1 of the drawer. We'll go ahead and call that right there. The face, drawer face. So it looks like, see what it's going to look like down here. Yeah, see what it's going to look like. I think it's going to be perfect. I think that's going to be perfect. Well, I think we got it dialed in to the fit I was looking for. But I'm going to go ahead and call this video right here. We'll do a part 2. But the next video, we will go ahead and build the drawer to fit and cut the dovetails. And at the end of it, we'll take this and then we'll glue it right to it. And then what we'll have is this glued over it. And what looking from the side, it will appear to have half-blind dovetails, which it will have half-blind dovetails. I hope you enjoyed this one. I was kind of worried about this right here. It wound up not being a big deal. Between the belt sander and the palm sander, it's sanded right in. That bandsaw, you take your time on the bandsaw, and it actually worked good. It worked real good. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. I know I did. This is the first one I've done this way. But I think when we're all said and done, this is going to be cool. This is going to be it. So, we will catch you on the next one. Y'all be safe. Well, we can't afford to do that, can we? So the mic check went well. Let me configure this thing. I thought that thing was locked. And let's see. I have the rough measurements, second stage rough estimate. Double check your measurements. Always double check your measurement. Double check it again. Don't matter how many times you cut after that, it's still going to be too small.